Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, JD Legend.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Prototype Vergo. You know what I mean?
Yo. And we are doing this collab video for a review of One Piece chapter 949. Virgo.
149.
Yep. So, Virgo, I want to get your thoughts on this chapter. Let's get the initial thoughts. What did you think about this
Man,
chapter overall?
man, let's talk about this. The elation from the scene, the amazing leadership from our future Pirate King, Monkey D. Luffy. Absolutely phenomenal with how he broke these 20 years of smile using. You know what I'm saying? These slaves were out here grinding for a fucking dongo a day. A dongo a day. And Luffy said, "This is not living. You are all slaves. Hug me, brother." And got infected with Ebola for these cats,
Oh,
man.
you
And I
wildin'.
love it. And he's just like, "This is not living." Threw them back. This is nothing. This is not pain. Kaido, a dragon. I'm making sure that Tama can eat every single day that she lives in Wano. And it was, I don't know, I was heartfelt. It's one of those top 10 speeches that we're gonna remember for a long time. It's the dreams of man will never die. It's the I broke the gear. It's the Doflamingo speech, the Throne Wars. It's just great. I think it's a top 10, possibly top 5 speech.
I agree 1,000%. If we talking about speeches right now, we talking Martin Luther King, I Had a Dream,
Let's go.
Nelson Mandela, the apartheid. We talking about
Let's go.
Gandhi against the British. You know what I'm saying? We don't like the British, even though I am British, but it's okay. I'm fine with that
You're
because we talking
Go
about,
ahead.
yeah, I'm a Brit. You didn't know that. You didn't know that, but that's okay. I
I
shouldn't have told
do.
that. So, see, now everybody knows my business, so that's my L, right? But in my personal opinion, initially I said this chapter was an 8 out of 10. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I initially said it's an 8 out of 10, but when I really thought about it, and I thought about the progression of Luffy, and that's mainly what we're going to be talking about in this video, I'm pretty sure. Just the progression of Luffy and how we see him be a really immature kid from the East Blue, immature in Alabasta, but at the same time, he's learning how to be a leader. You know, he's giving Vivi motivational speeches. He beats Crocodile. He saves Robin. You see him. People are following this dude. Same thing with Chopper. Think about everybody, all of the pirate crews, not the pirate crews, all his crewmates. He has shown a side of leadership with every single one of them, and it's progressively gotten better with each one. We even forget about Usopp and how he kind of just made Usopp come out of his shell just based on his heroism. And Usopp was like, "Yo,
Mm-hmm.
I want to be like Luffy." So now we see him now, and it's just like it's a different level. It's like, yo, it's not just people that I hang out with for a little bit and they see me. These are strangers. I'm getting strangers now. You know what I mean? It's just like it's not even just strangers. Like you got the fishermen, they were strangers, right? But they were cool with their own people. They were fighting amongst their own people, right? They're
And he
not
still
really
had Jinbei around.
exactly, and they still have Jinbei, so they have someone they can hope for. They had their king and all that. These guys have nothing. They hate Orochi. They hate everything about what's going on in Wano. They have nothing, and they're slaves, and they all got diseases. So basically, they all got Ebola. If you had Ebola, would you really care what Luffy had to say? I wouldn't.
Absolutely not.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So the fact that Luffy can actually inspire these people in that state, in a state of like what 10 minutes. Now we talking like he's
Those
got
who are in complete despair.
exactly complete despair. Now we're talking like this may be wild, but we're talking like Shanks level types of impact in terms of just their words, his words and his actions. Like see how Shanks pulled up in Marineford, bro. Like everything
The
shut
effect
down.
that he garnishes.
Exactly.
Even in Mirajois.
Oh, that's another one too. I don't think Luffy's ever gonna get to that point where he's chilling with the Goros. I think he's too savage for that. But you know, that was just really my overall point. Like that's how I felt about the chapter. So after I saw that, I'm like, okay, this is like a 9.5 out of 10. I'm gonna let y'all know why I'm not giving it the other point 5. But you know, let's start off with the beginning of the chapter. Virgo, how did you feel about the beginning parts?
So the beginning portion. I want to say that it was pretty interesting. We got to see a bit of clashing going on with the Scabbards and Luffy against these lower tier fodder characters. I would have unfortunately have to say.
Yeah.
But let me keep it a buck and a half. That did not interest me in the slightest. I love the Scabbards, and everybody knows my channel that I'm a huge avid lover of Kawamatsu now. I think almost every Kawamatsu scene is pretty dank.
Facts.
But that being said, that really wasn't the meat and potatoes of this. The meat and potatoes of it is that Babanuki, which is the other headliner there with Old Maid, is just shooting these excitement bullets known as the mummy virus,
Right.
which basically is mummifying all of the prisoners there and he's using that against them and turning them against Luffy and them, and basically, though they have begun to like strike up a bit, they are still not taking the reins. Everyone is still downtrodden, everyone is still in despair, and the situation really hasn't changed much except for a few people out of shackles. So now, the another huge thing is, and I want you to expound upon this too,
Okay.
JD, is that the kid, the slight kid of him frowning and him watching Luffy. Now, I haven't really got a chance to completely analyze this and see whether or not it's kid wallowing in despair because of his partner, wallowing in despair because of jealousy towards Straw Hat Luffy, or seeing how they're fighting against these pretty bad odds right now.
Right.
So I don't really understand what's going through the mind of Eustace Captain Kidd, but it's not good. He seems to be despairing to some sort of links.
See, I'm glad you brought that up because I actually have been wondering why Kid was making that face, because that face can mean so many different things. You know, my comparison was that he looked like he just got his ass whooped by his parents, and then they called him in, and you know how parents, when they beat you, right? If this is for black people, by the way, white people don't feel offended. This is okay. We're fine. It's like when you get beat, right, for whatever you did, and then they try to act like they're your best friend right afterwards, like, oh, you want something to eat, and you just mad, but you know you hungry, right?
And you sticking your lip.
Yeah, you sticking your, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's exactly what Kid looked like. And I'm just like, man, he looks really mad, but at the same time, he also can look at Luffy and be like, man, I wanted to destroy this place. Like, I wanted to take over this place. This is something I wanted to do. And then look at Luffy. I feel like it's jealousy. It looks like jealousy. But
it seems like jealousy.
Yeah, it seems like jealousy, but it also could be a fact that he's just gone through a lot and he's finally been saved and he almost died. And he's probably like really thinking about, how can I get Kaido back and how can I ruin everyone's life? And I'm actually going to have to, I feel like Luffy is my best chance to get revenge with Kaido. And I think he's starting to think about an alliance with Luffy, just based on what he's seeing what Luffy is capable of right now, and he's leading this charge against Kaido. But I think he doesn't like that because he's not really the type of dude to work with people. So I think it's more it's definitely internal conflict. What the internal conflict is, that I'm not sure of.
So I'm a bit on, so I just want to expound upon that a little bit more. I'm actually a little bit on the opposite spectrum.
Okay.
Only reason I'm saying so is because you look at the things between how Luffy operates and how Kid operates. And the way that Kid operates, Kid is ruthless, right? He's gonna do whatever it takes, and we know that Luffy is compassionate. No matter how hard-headed a dummy is, he's compassionate.
Right.
But you think about the other parallels between Luffy and Kid. Luffy wants the One Piece. Kid wants the One Piece. Luffy will fight for his dream no matter what. Kid's just gonna kill you. So, and it's just interesting that those are the two parallels. And then you also have Luffy who wants to get back Kaido, and Kid who wants to get back Kaido. Kid, when Luffy got thrown in the cage, Kid says, "You will rule the day, Kaido." But then he sees, think about these things. Kid has gone against these multiple Yonko and failed. Maybe a little bit of a W against Big Mom.
I was about to say, yeah.
But for the most part, failed. And Luffy, winning against Big Mom, didn't have those casualties. Got out. Succeeded. Luffy is winning against the world government. Succeeded. Luffy is going against Warlord. Succeeded. All these things on the way to becoming the Pirate King and finding the One Piece, Luffy is succeeding in, and Kid is noticing this across the New World. He is getting pissed off every time he sees his face in the paper.
Right.
So now he's getting to witness this in person. Watching him succeed, or he's not. I'm in shackles. He's not. He's fighting back against Kaido's men. I am not. His right-hand man is fighting against Kaido's men. My right-hand man is fucked in the head from smile and torture.
Right.
These things have got to be despairing, Kid.
So, do you think that he would actually try and fight Luffy, if that's the case?
Absolutely. I feel once the shackles are off and they're leaving Udon, Kid goes, right here, me and you, who's really going to get the One Piece?
That's interesting, because if that does happen, that would be a nice plot twist. First of all, Oda would have caught me off guard if he actually did that, but I think that would be interesting because then we'd actually get to see what level they're at. And then imagine if Luffy actually just washes him. Like, that would actually really upset me. I'm not gonna lie.
Imagine if he doesn't wash him, though.
I'd be hype. I'd be cool because
It'd be crazy.
yeah, because
and
now
that's something I'm looking forward to. Very enthusiastic.
right, exactly. Because then just imagine imagine the community after that, bro. Just imagine that in One Piece community seeing Kid go toe to toe with Luffy. Everything that people believed about Luffy, sure, that's fair. But now we got to put Kid on that level, and that's going to hurt some people's feelings. I'm going to be happy about it. I'm going to talk my trash. I'm going to be in every Discord.
Absolutely.
It's going to be it's going to be toxic. Go ahead.
Because as far as the community is concerned, Luffy is the front runner. And when it comes to the worst generation, the only front runners are Luffy and Blackbeard, Law, Kid, Hawkins. None of them are even close in everyone's eyes. There's a huge disparity. Luffy's got future sight. Luffy's learning a new type of armament hockey. They already believe that Gear 4 was too much for any of them anyway. They just believe that there's nothing that any of these people can do to even compete. And I do believe that that might not be true.
That's something we're definitely going to have to wait and see. I think Oda's going to do something really special with these supernovas. I think there's going to be...
that might be a different video between us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because we're going to have to do a supernova video for sure. Because that's going to be that's a really controversial topic. But, like, I've been waiting for a chance to really talk about all the supernovas because I have a couple opinions on them that people may not like. I do think people are hyping up Uroge just a little bit, but that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother body. Exactly. That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother topic. But right now, since we've gotten past the kid part, now it's time to get into the real meat. We're gonna talk.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the speech first. Tell me your initial reaction to the speech. What was your initial thinking once that was going on?
Man, oh man. Shoot, where do I begin? What's going on? Shoot, my initial reaction to the speech was this right here is going to be a speech that we're going to remember for the next 2-3 years. I say 2-3 years because at least until our next major arc.
Right.
Because this right here solidifies, in my opinion, why we really love One Piece, why we go along with the ride. It's for moments like these, moments that are supposed to stir in you as a reader. Like, hey, this is a culmination of our journey. This is the culmination of our 21-year journey with the Straw Hat Crew. This is from my man's coming out the barrel to hugging a nation, bringing a crumbling nation up that is clearly despairing. Like, you grab the disease for at least 20 men you do not know. You don't know their names. You don't know their lineage. You don't know their heritage. You don't know their backstory. You don't know anything about them.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to share this with you and show you, hey, this doesn't hurt. This doesn't hurt me at all. This is the equivalent of, let's say, someone's a burn victim.
Right.
And they're struggling all their life, never wanting to go near fire. They can't cook. They can't go by a stove. They can't do anything of the sort.
Right.
And you purposely set your finger on fire. Say, this is nothing. Come cook this meal with me. That's what I got from that. It is literally humbling yourself and bringing yourself down to their level so that they can understand that you feel their pain and you're willing to bear this burden with them, so to speak.
And I actually think... Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
No, I think that's a good analogy. I just want to say that's a good analogy because there's a lot of analogies that you could make. And one that came to my mind is about, okay, people having a fear of water or swimming. But that's not the case. They're not really in peril because if you can swim and they can't, that's not a big deal, right? Yeah. In this case, this is fire. It's going to hurt anybody. It's going to be painful no matter what. And imagine your hand is still on fire while you're still talking to them. And I'm like, yo, Let's cook this meal. It's different.
And completely increasing until you have second degree, then third degree.
Yep.
Which is gradually what was happening to him. And again, a little bit of the virus now started to spread all over his face. Like it continually, gradually kept getting large. And he's talking. He's saying, this is nothing. How dare you say, I made this worse? Do you want to live like this? You are slaves. You eat a dongo a day. I can't. That's crazy how he said that.
That was it.
That's not living. You eat a dongo a day. Now, if you think that's living, you got me fucked up. And basically, in my ghetto terms of what Luffy said.
I can't. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's like he couldn't believe it. He was almost like he's dumbfounded. He's like, how could you think this is living? I come here, I dominate the training, so to speak, and I get as much dongo as I want. And I don't want y'all to be inspired by that. I want y'all to be inspired by having actual freedom. Because he did all that. That still didn't change their hearts. So he said, this is what was necessary to move them to our side.
Right.
And he said, I made a promise to Tom. And, he's got the connection with her through Ace. That's his new little sister. I made a promise to her that she is going to eat as much as she wants every single day. and you knew he was hurt. You could feel the connection, and they had Chopper with his little panel to show him that he was truly, obviously not going to be okay. Because he said, "Yo, Luffy, what are you doing? You're lying. You're clearly getting spread with the virus." But it doesn't matter. What is happening here is bigger than my body, bigger than my pains, because they've been hurting for 20 years, whereas I have not.
Right. And I'm with you on that, and I think it's important to understand. Like, there are people's like, oh, people could say, oh, Luffy's impervious to poison, or he's superhuman. What people fail to understand is that diseases still kill people in One Piece. Oh, yeah. Roger had a disease and he died.
Correct.
Whitebeard was old and had a disease. You saw how weakened he was. So
everyone that Law knew
had a disease and they all died. And that's my point. Luffy took on a disease. He took on a plague. This isn't poison. This is different. It's not poison. This is a disease that he's just inflicted on himself to inspire other people. So it means more. It means so much more. And that's really what's important. And I really want to agree with you. When he talked about the dango, he said, yo, y'all really eat a dango a day. Like, y'all eat twigs for a living. You get no nutrition, no protein, no carbohydrates, nothing. You just eating dango. You just eating like a little ball and that's it. And you want to call this living?
Wade in the water every goddamn
exactly.
day.
Y'all are literally like, it's not. And Luffy's basically Django at this point. If we really want to be real, if you want to be real
Monkey D. Django.
Monkey D. Django. That's it. That's the D stands for Django. Real rap.
That's a fact.
But no, trust me, we could talk about this speech forever. I think we hit the nail on the head in the beginning in this part. So let's get to the end of this chapter where we finally see
also flames.
Luffy uses Future Sight. Now, personally, if you saw my reaction, I was a little confused. Like I said, it was cool. It was definitely dope. Let's get this out the way. That was fire. Like the way Oda drew that, where one moment you see him, oh my god. Just seeing Luffy there, like you just know that moment where that little One Piece drum comes in. He's just there. He's already tied the trunk. Yeah, it's like you saw it in the anime, bro. And I'm just like, oh man, this is dope. But he's got Future Sight. So now it's just like, okay, now I have to. Luffy has to be above Katakuri, in my opinion. If that's the case, he has to be above Katakuri at this point. I don't see why he wouldn't be. So now that's tough for me because I'm a Katakuri fanboy. I'm the deacon of the Katakuri mega church. You know what I'm saying? So like this is this is really tough for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I say my daily prayers to Katakuri. Shout out to King of Lightning. You know what I'm saying? So like it was tough for me. Yo, dog, when he said that I was rolling, bro. Like his sense of humor is great. It really is. But Vergo, how'd you feel about that, man? Like overall, because I know you was one of the stands like, yo, he got Future Sight. So go ahead, man.
Absolutely, man. So, yeah, man. I mean, not even so much of the Future Sight. It's the approach to it, right?
Right.
It could have been like, oh, I did this, and I used Future Sight. It could have been easily expressed in one of the lamest ways possible, and the execution of it, I thought, was ingenious. Is the fact that right before he shoots, I must say, 200 times the amount of disease bomb, which is absurd because one times is already killing everybody.
Right.
So I thought it was a little bit overkill that he did 200 times, but I was like, oh well, I guess he really wants everyone to die.
Right.
So he does that, and Luffy hops on the scene, and there was like no initial thing. Like Luffy's there, the guy's trunk is tied. Already. He wanted all the smoke, just immediate smoke. Trunk's already tied, and Old May's like, what in God's name just happened? So that's a speed as well as a Future Sight.
Absolutely.
And Luffy just like, so I sensed a slightly dangerous future. The execution in that one-liner is just God amazing to me. And the fact that he did that and then doesn't even look at him as he's clearly ending the guy's
He
life.
Walked away, bro. I said, oh, you hate to see it because he really about to explode.
Who says Luffy don't kill people?
Oh, my God. Like, he's done. There's no way. Like, if Chopper tries to save him, it's too late. Like,
what's he going to save?
It's just too, like, it's
inside of him.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he exploded. Like, he's done. He's out for the count.
He's finished.
He's out of here, bro.
Like old May just went go fish. Like it's over, bro.
Oh my god. Like
and I don't know. It was beautifully executed. And then you have the moment slightly after. I mean, you thought he did enough by putting everyone on his side, right? No. Next, I'm gonna save everyone once again by taking out Old Maid.
Right.
And finishing it all off. He points at everybody, has a bit of an All Might moment. The rest is up to you.
And now it was just perfect. I think that was perfection in the way it ended. And then we see Hyogoro say like, man, you guys really recruited a really strong ally in Luffy. Like he's got the respect. You understand? Hyogoro is like extra respected in Wano. Like I think we forget like Hyogoro is like, I'm trying to think of like a good guy. Yeah, like he's the guy in Wano. Like Kyoshiro's like, yo man, Hyogoro had all the gangsters
together. He's like how Jinbei is to Fishman Island.
Yes. He's actually the Jinbei of Wano. That's actually a very, very good comparison, man. That like, oh man, that scene was just so good, man. That Future Sight scene was incredible, man. The fact that people just think this chapter is mid really disappoints me. Like everyone has a right to their opinion, but
of course.
But
I feel like this is a chapter for the true One Piece fans who have been watching it and sticking out for a very long time.
Exactly.
And these moments like this, there's little it may seem like little moments to others, but it's built up so much more than that for guys like us.
Exactly. And it's just like this is only Act 2, you know. So Oda's already given us these moments to the point where I'm just like, for me, Wano has its ups and downs for sure. We could definitely talk about that in another video for sure.
Absolutely.
But overall, I think Wano is good. I think it's a good arc. I think it's going in the right direction. Oda's done some things I haven't been pleased with, but again, nothing's perfect. You know, we put this perfection on Oda, but you have to understand this man is human. He's gonna do things we don't like. I understand that, but this is crack cocaine to me. This is heroin. That content is heroin. Like seeing that, I was like, oh, I need another fix. I'm so excited that we're not on break too, bro. We got another chapter coming.
Absolutely, man. Bringing the content out 1 week after the other.
Oh
I love
my god, bro. It's just a privilege. It's a privilege to do One Piece, man.
It is. He's a phenomenal writer.
Right. But that's gonna be the end of this video. We definitely hit over 20 minutes, Vergo. So we were definitely wrong on our prediction. You hate to see it.
It's all good, man. I mean, when you're talking about something you really enjoy, it happens.
Oh, it just flows, bro. It just flows. But ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for this review. Vergo, you got any parting comments? Any plugs?
All I gotta say, man, those of you that see this video, subscribe to my boy JD Legend. He's on his way. Get this man at 1,000 as quick as possible. Subscribe to me. I am Prototype Vergo. Happy to do this with my man. I know we just met pretty recently, man, but I feel like he's one of my brothers already. I love this man. It's great. I hope everybody enjoys Wano. I hope everybody enjoys this review, and you know what it is. You know what I mean?
Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Guys, please support this man, Vergo. Take him to the top. He needs to be at the top. This is one of the guys that I've been following for a little bit, ever since the Brago days. And he's kind of just helped me out, man. I've been watching him, seeing how he does his streams, the people that he brings around. It's just been a blessing, man, really being on YouTube and just talking about One Piece with people that I really care about, man. And this is just been a great pleasure. Vergo, thank you for coming on and collabing with me. This is my first collab ever, so you got a privilege. When I'm a Hall of Famer, I'll remember you, dog. I'm gonna have that Kevin Durant speech. Remember he was crying? He said, "You the real MVP." That's a special place for you, my nigga. I appreciate it, man. But
I appreciate it, dog.
Of course, guys, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. We are almost there. We have 77 subs. Once we get to that 100, I just want y'all to know something. That 100 is a special spot. When I have my Discord, it's gonna be a little section that says 100-man unit.
100-gang unit.
100-man unit. Those guys here, they're privileged individuals. Once I hit 1,000, y'all better pay homage to them. I'm talking about offerings at the altar. That's what they are at. But anyway, before I start going on all the way, guys, thanks again. JD Legend is out of here. Vergo, say your pieces.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. I guess that was you know what I mean?
Yeah, you heard him jingling his keys. All right, guys, peace out and have a good rest of your day. Deuces.